Hey everyone, welcome to day 7 of the Diary of a Multifaceted Mama. So glad you are here and joining us today. Whew, let's just be real. That's why I'm doing this, right? The first half of today, I was feeling some clutter, some mental clutter, some kind of disjointed thoughts and wanting to figure things out, specifically with regard to my mentorship business and what direction, not what direction, I knew what direction I wanted to go. I'm clear on that, but wanting to take action in that direction and feeling frustrated and confused and cluttered in my mind about what next action to take in this particular moment this morning. And part of why that was happening for me was because I didn't wake up for my own me time this morning like I usually do. I didn't do my intentional scheduler like I usually do. And so I hadn't started my day off intentionally with really focus, like a clarity and focus and care for myself in the beginning of the day. And the reason I didn't do that was because I was up since 2 a.m. the prior day, because baby is, in that sleep regression stage right now. So I was like, if baby's going to sleep, I'm going to try to sleep. And so I allowed myself to sleep in a little bit later till 6 or so. And so there was a trade-off there, right? The trade-off was that there was less time for me to do my kind of morning me time with myself, which I know always helps me to reset in the beginning of my day and to start my day off fresh and intentional and focused. And so not doing that this morning, I just felt the difference. And as such, I kind of was in my head a little bit more than I typically like to be, and trying to think. I could feel I was trying too hard to think about, what to do and what to focus on. And so it was like that probably for the first half of the morning, in the first half of the day, up until maybe around noonish, maybe a little bit before that, maybe 11 or 12, something like that. And then my partner noticed there's something up with me, although he wasn't sure. And so I just talked with him a little bit, and getting to just talk out loud about, some of the mental clutter and thoughts that I was having was really helpful and helped me to begin to intentionally shift from where I was at to really focusing on, a different kind of perspective that I wanted to have, and to get back into my more intentional focus for the day. So that was a bit of a catalyst for me, which was really great, and I really appreciate. So my gratitude for today really is that conversation that helped serve as kind of like a catalyst for me to shift into a more intentional focus for the day, which is really, really important to me. And obviously my challenge for the day was starting off and having that morning that was, less focused, but offering myself grace, right? Like I did offer myself grace. I wasn't beating up on myself or anything like that, which, if you asked me maybe 7 years ago, I might be more like beating up on myself, being more of my own tough critic kind of thing. But I wasn't doing that to myself today, so that was good, and I'm grateful for that. And as the day pressed on, I took some time to really sit down with myself and to listen to some things that I knew would help kind of refocus my mind. And I listened to some music that was helpful for me to kind of reset a little bit more, which was good. And I really enjoyed, so something that was good today were some collaborations that I did. I'm doing a lot of collaborations in my business this year, intentionally, and I'm really excited about them. And every time I engage with them, I engage with the person I'm collaborating with, I leave it just feeling invigorated and high energy, and just so glad that I did that, that I had those conversations with them. So I had a few collaborations today, at least 3, that I'm remembering off the top of my head. And being able to do those reinvigorated me, which was awesome. And getting to have some client sessions today was awesome. And then taking breaks to be with the baby today was awesome. So I was able to shift, right? Like I was able to shift, even though the first half of the day was a little bit more challenging for me. I was able to shift, and I'm still, not at the place of 1000% clarity around certain things. But that's okay, right? I had a day where I got to practice kindness towards myself and compassion towards myself and allow myself to get some support and allow myself to have some grace, that I'm not, where I want to be all the time, 1000% of the time, and that's okay. That makes me human. And I'm grateful for that. So I will say that I am ready for beddy. I am tired. I'm ready for bed tonight. I'm ready to get some rest, feel rejuvenated, and kick off the day tomorrow with that intentional me time with my intentional scheduler. If that's something you're interested in checking out, I do have a 3-part like mini series that I created to guide folks through my intentional scheduler process so that you can customize it to yourself. It's going to be the easiest and best $20 you spend all year. So I'll drop that link below if you want to check that out. But for tonight, I am going to continue to lean into a few things that I've really been thinking about, that I've really been pondering these past few days around how I want to reflect my uniqueness, my brilliance, my wisdom, how to reflect that in the multifaceted ways that only I can, not just in my own personal life, because I do feel like I continue to do that each day, and to push myself to grow in those areas each day, but also in particular my mentorship business, really wanting to allow courage to take the steering wheel over comfort. And that means getting vulnerable, more and more vulnerable. And that's part of why I'm doing this video series here, this diary of a multifaceted mama, is to challenge myself to be more and more vulnerable and to embrace and share like all these different multifacets of myself as mom, as woman, as wife, as business owner, as therapist, as mentor, so all of these different pieces as minority, and bring that to the forefront, bring those conversations to the forefront, bring those experiences to the forefront, and really be able to own them, and start conversations around them for others that would really benefit from having those conversations, in a place to discuss them, or a place to reflect on them, or a place, just to hear them, so that there's inspiration there if it's getting sparked, if that's needed or wanted. So I'm going to continue to lean into how I want to reflect that more clearly, more often, in this space and in the other spaces where I show up for my business. And so that's an area where I want to continue to grow in for today. So I think I've done them all, right? I talked about the challenge, talked about the growth, talked about the good and the gratitude. And I absolutely would encourage you to do the same. If you want to be on this journey with me, if you want to challenge yourself in these ways, go ahead and sit down with yourself and ask yourself, while you reflect on today, not just in your work life, not just in your home life, but in both, right? Like in all of the above, as parent, as partner, as professional, and all of those roles, all of those aspects of yourself, how are you feeling challenged? How have you grown, or how do you want to continue to grow? What was good? What are you grateful for? And if you want to share it, go ahead and share it below. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for joining me today. I'll leave that link below if you want to check out the Intentional Scheduler. And until next time, I'll see you for day 8.